weeks without even taking a bath, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in some dams that are constructed, the same dam, people drink and animal use. People drink the water that animals urinate in. Yeah? The same water. Where the animals are drinking and actually dropping everything. Madam Speaker, it's very sad to be selfish as leaders. And I wish there is a way that those who sit at the national level, they can visit those parts of the country and see the kind of challenges our people go through, Madam Speaker. In many parts of northern Kenya, mothers carry jerrycans on their back, traveling for kilometers and hours. They leave in the morning at 6 and come back in the evening with one jerrycan of 20 liters back home. And that is the same water that they use for animals, the same water they use for their homes, Madam Speaker. Electricity, you will see some part of this country, electricity is connected to mud houses. But if you go to some parts of this country, especially in northern Kenya and where I come from, there is no electricity connectivity in many parts of those sub-counties and locations, Madam Speaker. And I think it is good to be sincere. When you stand on the floor of the house and say, yeah, expansion is good, it's not good, it's not fair. It is unequal, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I can tell you this house in the last parliament made a blunder to have allocated that money to the county government, because that money is shared actually in Nairobi with individuals who don't even know some parts of those counties. There is no public participation. People are given contracts without advert. Madam Speaker, there is need to review the expansion of the list so that we are fair to the people living in those areas or intended for initially as far as equalization fund is concerned. Madam Speaker, in my county, there are dispensaries that were constructed by equalization fund, Madam Speaker. I talk of Mwangaza, the one that Senate visited when they went there. There is a Kadeli that is not even complete. It's a shell. Nobody is actually checking which projects have stalled and which ones have not stalled, Madam Speaker. And I urge Finance Committee to call Equalization Fund or the CS and PS Treasury to overhaul or to look what impact Equalization Fund has on those counties that were intended to support. Madam Speaker, it's intended to run for 20 years. We have almost done 17. There is no impact, zero impact as far as Equalization Fund is concerned, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I believe devolution has assisted in one way or the other. But you can say because devolution is there, we should forget what the intention of equalization is. Having said that, Madam Speaker, I urge Senate Committee of Finance to review the impact of Equalization Fund in this country. Finally, Madam Speaker, I wish to pass a message of condolences to the 5 people who were killed last night in Isiolo, because there are 4 families that they were tortured to death, and one other person who was tortured to death in Isiolo County. Madam Speaker, I talked about insecurity in Isiolo the last time we had impeachment of the governor. Today, there are 2 speakers fighting in the assembly of Isiolo. Where is the law? Where is the country? And I urge you need to do something about insecurity in Isiolo. And I have discussed with CS Interior and PS Interior as far as County Commissioner Isiolo is concerned. That County Commissioner has stayed there for 8 years. And there's so much insecurity. He is doing nothing. He must be removed. If the government does not remove him, then the will of the people will apply. I thank you.
Thank you, Senator Dullo. Senator Madago Jackson.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to support the Equalization Fund location bill, Madam Speaker. Madam